what is happening with the new Biohaven, a stock that suddenly exploded higher. That's been a big favorite of ours. Last year, Pfizer bought out the old Biohaven Pharmaceuticals for nearly $12 billion in cash. But a very weird deal, because Pfizer only wanted Biohaven's game-changing migraine drugs and related products, not the rest of the pipeline. So in addition to a boatload of cash, shareholders in the old Biohaven also got shares in new Biohaven, and that retained everything that Pfizer didn't want. This new version of Biohaven is much more speculative than the old one. Most of the pipeline drugs are still in the early stages. Some are focused on opaque indications or end markets that we simply don't know much about. But when Biohaven held the R&D Day event this week, the stock soared, ending the week up roughly 40%. Clearly, the professional money managers like what they heard. So now I want you to get the same story with Dr. Vlad Coric. He's the chairman and CEO of Biohaven. Dr. Coric, welcome back to Mad Money.
Thanks, Jim. Appreciate you having me here. And I have to say, we have been busy since the sale to Pfizer over the last few months. We now have 10 programs, over 7 platforms, from early stage to late stage. And yesterday, we just announced filing a new drug application with the FDA.
Okay, so tell me what that product's for, because it's the one that's a little hard for me to understand, but I'm sure it's a terrible thing you're trying to conquer.
Yes, for this indication, it's called spinocerebellar ataxia, or SCA. It's a genetic disorder that's ultra rare, and it affects a part of your brain called the cerebellum, which is the back part of your brain.
Yes.
It's involved in coordination and walking, and it starts to deteriorate, and it's a progressive disease, and over time, people die after becoming wheelchair bound. And our drug, troriluzole, showed data that it decreased the progression of this illness and also reduced the number of falls for patients, which is very important for people who suffer from this disease.
Well, that is sensational. Now, does that have anything to do with what you're working on with Parkinson's?
It's a different mechanism than Parkinson's. Yes.
So, because, some of these indications that's a narrow one.
Yes.
But I'm sure it costs the system a fortune, so you'll be able to get a big price for it, but it will still be cheaper for the system than if people just had the treatment because it worked that well.
And there's absolutely no treatment available for these patients.
No, really?
They have no options, and when you look at other companies, there's nothing even in the pipeline. So we're excited to bring this forward for people with ataxia. And you mentioned the Parkinson's program. We're just as excited about that as well, because that's a big indication, and we are harnessing the immune system to try to treat Parkinson's. It's a new approach, and we're excited about it.
The immune system, not the brain, the immune system.
That's right, the immune system.
Because everyone's been attacking by the brain. Maybe that's the wrong way to go.
That's what we think. We think people are looking at all these plaques that have been forming, but it's actually the immune system that attacks the plaques that cause the neurodegeneration in these diseases. So you've heard of alpha-synuclein, that's the plaque causing Parkinson's, but we actually think it's the immune system attacking the plaque. And if we can quiet that, we think we can stop or slow the progression.
Does anyone else doing that?
There are others who are in this new field of neuroimmunology, and they're starting to get focused.
No, because I'm involved, and I know it's really amazing what you've been doing. That's amazing. Now, you had a home run with Nurtec, which you wanted to give to Pfizer. Well, everybody did well. And Pfizer's starting to get the word out, which is very good. But they didn't want these others. But isn't your stock up big from when you came on in October?
It absolutely is up over 180% since I was last on your show in October. Our pipeline has been broadening, and people see the value potential from this pipeline.
All right, now, I'm going to say this wrong. Myasthenia gravis?
Yes.
Bad?
That's a bad neurologic disorder as well, and it's another example of we're using a different compound to modulate the immune system. You're going to see a theme, I think, in brain disorder research in the next few years of focusing on the immune system. Our drug that is potential for myasthenia gravis is a small molecule degrader. It degrades part of the immune system that's causing the problem in that disease, and we're excited about bringing that forward as well.
And really anything for RA, because even the one, we know that the drugs in RA are the most successful drugs, but they don't have big success.
That's right. And what we have to finally do is get at the root cause of these diseases. And we think in RA there are autoantibodies that are causing the destruction that gives you the arthritis. And if we can degrade that with our small molecule degraders, we think we can bring forward a whole new class of agents in this area.
Now, when you say we, how big is your company now?
So we have 250 employees. We kept out of the about 1,200, the commercial team went over to Pfizer. We kept the R&D team that brought Nurtec and Zavspret to market. It's that R&D team that's going to deliver these new therapies.
10 programs. Any one of these that hits. Doc, they'd be very big, wouldn't they?
This, we think, can change the paradigm in multiple disease states. and create value for patients and investors.
Now, I just wanted just a little word about Nurtec. Look, I'm the chief spokesperson for the American Migraine Foundation. I ran the Brain Foundation Gala. And I have to tell you, the man I'm talking to is a real doctor and real scientist, and understood that we could not, and I tried so hard to get the word out for Nurtec. No matter what we did, you needed a giant sales team to sell that drug.
Absolutely. We needed Pfizer's sales team, and they can reach the billion people, Jim, across the world who suffer from migraine, and this is a paradigm-shifting medication that gets people back to normal within an hour.
Yep. Well, for me, it's 15 minutes. I know when the rains come or when I'm about to have my end of my aim. The only reason I'm saying that, it's not his current company, but you need to know the background of what this man has accomplished, because it is remarkable how many lives you have saved and how many hours of lives that you have saved with that revolutionary drug that, I tell you, Doc, I still don't see people taking, and it's just crazy.
Well, we have to still get the word out on Nurtec, but what we did for patients and migraine and Nurtec, we want to do the same thing with other brain disorders. That's what we're passionate about, and that's what drives us at Biohaven.
You know, I said it was speculative in October, but I knew it was real, and I always want people to understand, a lot of these are very early drugs, but Vlad Coric is the real deal, and he's saved a lot of people, and I think he's going to do it again. Vlad, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate your advocacy. Thank you.
Mad Money's back to Brad.